Hello and welcome to the Fragrant Divide. In this video, we'll be taking a look at Tom of Finland by Etat Libre. It was released in 2008 and it was created by Antoine Lie. There are two main reasons why I wanted to feature this perfume. First, it's the end of Pride Month and the artwork of Tom of Finland contributed to the LGBTQ+ community. Second, this is now being phased out and will be replaced by a new scent called Clean Suede, and it has slightly different notes. So who is Tom of Finland? It is the pen name used by the artist Touko Laaksonen, and at the same time became the collective name of his artwork, which centers on gay homoerotic graphic illustrations that feature many muscular men, often clad in skin-tight uniforms, leather, rubber, etc. So based on that, you can kind of already tell what this scent is all about. It is said that the art's aesthetic is a response to the typical depiction of an effeminate gay man in the 1960s, which in turn reinforced another entry in the sexuality spectrum. The art is expressive, it's rebellious, it's exaggerated, and a bit subversive. So what I have here is the 50 ml box. The packaging is significant because ELDO really tried to pay tribute to Tom of Finland's work. This box has actually a very nice suede-like texture. I wish more boxes actually come in this because it's nice to the touch. There's also a glossy embossed cap here that makes it look like something rubbery or leathery because it's kind of shiny. And that's definitely a nod to the leather and uniformed men that the author is very fond of. There's actually even an age warning in here because, of course, it's sexually explicit content, right? And from what I understand, the 50 ml box has two versions. One of them is this black box, and the other one has the image of a muscular dude, just like the 100 ml counterpart. If you have this plain black box like I do, don't you worry because it's actually stated here that there's a dirty drawing inside. And it's funny because I've owned this for quite a few years and I didn't notice that until just recently, just probably months before I did this video. So if you open the box and take out the insert, there's actually a sexually explicit image in there featuring 5 guys, and one of them is, for the lack of a better word, enjoying a huge snack, and it's not a burger. The bottle itself is actually pretty simple. It has the same cap accent on the Tom, just like it is in the box, and it has this beautiful rosé wine-like color, but a fresh batch doesn't come like this. It starts off pale yellow and eventually oxidizes to something like this. So what does it smell like? Tom of Finland is a slightly gritty textured pale suede leather surrounded by a cloud of dusty powder with hints of spice and a cool balmy feel, followed by a touch of sweet elements. From the website, the specific notes are aldehydes, lemon, birch leaves, pine, safralene, pepper, cypress, geranium, vanilla, tonka bean, iris, vetiver, suede, musk, and ambergris. To me, the blend here is pretty tight that specific notes don't necessarily stand out. The dominant dusty powder and suede leather are the main stars of the show. They are both present from start to finish. The first few minutes can be quite big and diffusive, and slightly nose-tingling, maybe even quite arresting because of the powder. Like the powder feels like it's getting stuck on your nose, but it's not as bad as some baby powders. Some baby powders can really give you that you're being choked by the powder-like feeling, but it's not like that here. Despite the complexity of the notes, it actually does smell quite simple, to be honest, and it almost feels like a linear scent. But I don't mind that at all. I do have to say that even though it's not mentioned in the notes, this feels like it has a tiny hint of ambroxan and javanol, which is a synthetic sandalwood note. But of course, I can't accurately verify that. But the very deep dry down of this smells like Javanol to me. The powdery vibe here feels a bit old world, without necessarily smelling like cosmetics or overtly feminine. Yet somehow it still manages to be masculine. I'd say that this is unisex leaning masculine, and surprisingly, while it does feel kind of old world, it at the same time feels quite modern. So I guess it's the other notes that's giving this that modern feel. The projection is soft to moderate, but the overall performance is pretty good. It doesn't become a skin scent up until after the 5.5 hour mark, and it disappears by the ninth hour, which to me, that's pretty good. It stays much longer on clothes, of course, and I get random whiffs of it during most of the wear, especially indoors when I'm just like doing dishes or something. The actual artwork of Tom of Finland features a lot of men in leather and rubber, so it makes total sense that the perfume inspired by it would be a leather scent. They're often in black and white, and having that reference makes you think that the perfume would be a dark, hard, rubbery leather, but it's actually not. This is quite a very metrosexual powdery suede. I've been trying to figure out the connection. Why powder? Why was that emphasized in this perfume? The only thing I could think of came from two shows, CSI Las Vegas and Friends. In CSI Las Vegas, there were several episodes that featured a character named Lady Heather, and I love her, by the way, one of my favorite like TV show characters of all time. And she owns a fetish club. There was an episode that mentioned something about using talcum powder when dealing with latex. In the sitcom Friends, Ross famously wore leather pants on a date, and when it tightened during the wear, he basically doused his lower half with powder, I think either trying to get the pants off or trying to get the pants back on. In the context of Tom of Finland, let's just assume that leather and latex are hugely interchangeable as far as the function of the garments go. Despite the inspiration for this perfume, I think it's actually pretty versatile. Like you could wear it at the office and you would just smell clean and powdery and professional still. Or you can wear it out on a date night or something and it would just be fine because of that little bit of sweetness that makes it likable. Or you can wear it at a sex dungeon party and I think it would still fit in, no problems at all. Not that I would know what the smells are in a sex dungeon. Like I mentioned early in the video, Tom of Finland is unfortunately being phased out. So on March 24th of this year, Etat Libre published a blog post officially announcing the discontinuation. I agree with what people are saying. It's most likely due to licensing fees more than anything else. It's been 15 years after all. The announcement also included the introduction of its replacement called Clean Suede, and this new fragrance has similar notes, but not exactly the same. So I think it's safe to assume that it will actually act as a reformulation. At the time of the publishing of this video, Tom of Finland is still available on ELDO's USA website at a discounted rate, but it's no longer on the European website. The Clean Suede is the one on there. Luckily, it's still also available on discounters. Overall, I really enjoy this perfume. I don't have a lot of powdery scents, and I definitely enjoy my suedes. However, this is not something that you should go out of your way to get, now that it's discontinued, nor is it something you should pay an exorbitant amount after it becomes scarce. Unless you really want to put this in your collection because it is after all a tribute to something, right? It's a piece of art in of itself. Or if you want to put it somewhere else, I won't judge. I hope that was helpful or entertaining in some way. Thank you for watching.